Nobody told a story that night with words. She told it with skin, cut, and a gaze. One dress, one walk, one photograph that rewrote the narrative about a princess who would not disappear. This is the revenge dress. The night was June 29th, 1994, a Vanity Fair fundraiser at the Serpentine Gallery. Cameras lining the lawns. The same day, a major television documentary about Prince Charles aired, the one where he publicly addressed the collapse of his marriage, a broadcast that confirmed the very rumors the tabloids had been screaming for years. That evening, Diana stepped out in a black, off-the-shoulder gown that almost nobody expected her to wear. Within hours, the world had a label for it, the revenge dress. This dress wasn't a last-minute provocation. It was designed by Christina Stambolian, a London-based designer, and crucially, Diana had owned the gown for years. It was an off-the-shoulder black silk evening dress, figure-hugging, with pleated crisscross detailing on the bodice and an asymmetrical chiffon drape that trailed behind her. Diana had reportedly considered it too daring at first. She kept it in her wardrobe, waiting. 3 years later, she chose it, and timing turned it into a weapon. Photographers later said her arrival lasted 30 seconds, but those 30 seconds exploded. Cameras snapped, reporters stared. She bounded out of the car with that almost athletic gait. Paparazzi called it unforgettable. The look, short, scandalous by royal standards and perfectly tailored, read like an answer, "I'm not ashamed, I still exist, and I will not be defined by his confession." Why did the public call it revenge? Because it broke nearly every unspoken royal rule of decorum. Royals were expected to be demure, covered, conservative, symbolic rather than sexual. This dress exposed shoulders, hugged the body, and had an edge of glamour that shouted agency. In a way, the dress flipped the script. The narrative about humiliation was replaced by a narrative of control. Designers and insiders later revealed that Diana had planned to wear a Valentino dress that night, until leaks and wardrobe politics forced a change. She picked Stambolian's piece instead. Some accounts say she had it made in 1991 and had kept it, waiting for the right moment. That intentionality is the real power move. She didn't stumble into theatrics. She chose a narrative piece. The press went savage and loving all at once. Tabloids splashed headlines that framed Diana as defiant, glamorous, and suddenly the protagonist of her own story. Fashion editors coined sharper labels, some daringly crude. But the public, so many felt she had finally performed her own comeback, using style rather than speeches. If this minute has you hooked, smash that like, subscribe right now, and tell me in the comments. Is fashion ever just fashion, or is it always a message? I read every single comment. Beyond headlines, the revenge dress functions as a symbol. It reframed Diana from the shy royal to an image of irresistible modern womanhood who could weaponize glamour. Scholars and fashion historians call it strategic, a performance of agency in a public arena. It also cracks open the bigger question, when does clothing become language? For Diana that night, the answer was always. After Diana's tragic death, her clothes became artifacts of cultural memory. The revenge dress was auctioned in 1997, reportedly selling for funds destined to charity, and has since appeared in exhibitions and resurfaced in pop culture retellings, from museum retrospectives to recreations on screen. Its legend endures because it captured a private rebellion in a single public gesture. Today, when a celebrity shows up in an outfit that seems to answer a scandal, you can trace a line back to that lawn at the Serpentine. The revenge dress didn't invent power dressing, but it crystallized how potent clothing can be as narrative truth. Diana didn't shout, she stepped out. She didn't issue statements, she issued a silhouette. That's why 3 decades later, the image still pierces. Fashion isn't just fabric, it's strategy, it's history, it's narrative control, and sometimes when the moment demands it, it can be revenge. If you want a deeper play-by-play, I can cut this into a mini doc. Sources, transcripts, even the studio notes from Stambolian. Hit subscribe, share this with someone who loves fashion history, and leave one word in the comments describing Diana's dress. Which word will you choose? I'll pin the best answer. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and make CrazeCoutume happy.